play?
Oh, there's a lot of options. There are certainly. I mean, you can imagine like the default ones. You can see a Thatcher Kide ban. That's not going to be too far out of the realm of possibility. No, I don't like it necessarily. I think it's a little bit boring. But those are potentials, and Ying, actually, next up on my list, a huge high-impact execution-based operator. Those are very strong on maps like this, especially when you think about that basement side. How often does that come down to the last 10, 15 seconds? You need to make a mad push through E-Box. A Ying is very useful for that. Second ban going out is going to be that Nomad, and not really the most common ban we tend to see, but I think that makes the intent very clear about what Magic Squad might do on the defense.
Yeah, I think there might be a bit of roaming going on here and a bit of flanking going on. Azami removed, a ban that's always good one. And I'm going to play the Whippet card. I'm going to say Valk will probably be the next one to be removed. Look, anytime I ask you which defense...
don't call
it
that. No,
it's the Whippet card. And it's always the last ban as well. It's always Valk, and it's always the last ban. And it's going to be... Okay.
This is why you don't go and say, oh, I'm playing the Whippet card. It's going to be Valk, because it was smoke, Gibby. It was smoke. I wasn't going to say smoke. I did actually know it was going to be smoke. And you can't prove I didn't know that, because I'm brilliant.
So, but I want to ask you one question, though.
Oh, no.
Obviously, we've got the new share scheme going on.
Yeah, okay, yep. Yeah, go on then.
Isn't it so good that they've been given so much creative license this year? You know, the liquid backdrop, you look at the G2 one, you look at the CAG one. Those player cards are so much more fun this year.
Obviously, Liquid's the best one, obviously.
Yeah, because you're actually paid to say that now. This is a hashtag ad as we look at the stats from Spurboony. So, obviously, for Liquid, a first place finish here will all but secure top spot for them with an 84% chance. You said the fact already in the pre-show that they're already confirmed top 3, so they're not going to show anything revolutionary here on the defense. But for Magic Squad, the stats really do matter. They are gunning hard over for that regulation win, because if they get a regulation win, 89% is a pretty good chance of making that top 3.
They want to get all 3 points. It's a very basic statement, I think. The competitive team wants to win and optimize the amount of points they get. Of course they do. They really want to get themselves that 3 points. 89% chance basically all but locks them in for that position in top 3, gets them to phase 2 of Brazil, and that's where they can begin their ascendancy to potentially find themselves a place at the Copenhagen Major, which is just around the corner.
Like it.
And the Magic Squad, well, they're going to try and put a curse on Liquid. They're going so fast, so aggressive, straight away, but Resets gets one, finds himself traded. Laguna sits and waits and finds one more. Resets gets another one, and very, 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 very quickly, it's a 4 versus 2. I appreciate it, Magic Squad. I like the technology. It was deployed. However, it had a hard counter, and it was called all of Liquid being ready for it. It felt like just holding on the site. And Rare kind of left on an island as well. His teammate not already in any close proximity to him. So I don't want to say the round's already won, but the round's mostly already won.
This is the scenario that you get when there's only 30 seconds gone, and you have 2 players left alive with their hands in the head going, how are we going to win this one now? It's a 4v2. How do you win it? You start isolating these picks and winning your 1v1s. You're playing against a team like Liquid, though. If you look at the silhouettes with it, they've got 2-2s. They're literally playing a 2-2 split right now, so that if Magic Squad are able to isolate one of them, the player is there for the refrag. There's a clear defensive plan now in place for Liquid. GDN's going to begin rotating down to the graveyard, where most of his team are currently lying already outside of this round. 1 minute and 24 seconds. And how does he do it? Well, the first off will be the Capital Bolt. Going to time it, puts it inside the closet. Lagonis is going to fall. That's 2 1v1s isolated, and the back players were not able to swing and get the refrag back the other way, but Lagonis back on his feet, and that's going to be Volps getting his one. GDN now stuck in the corner, and he's going to get taken down again. Another one on the board for Volps.
Yeah. So that round, as much as we wanted to perhaps build up anticipation for that final few seconds and that last-ditch effort, was won in the initial stage. Magic Squad try to get fast, get aggressive, get a little bit cheeky with it, and I appreciate that from them. However, you're going up against side like Liquid. You give them even a whisper of that one, and they played together. They were very reactive to it and had a perfect trade already set up and established. Well played from them. And I'm going to say, almost scratched an opening round from the record. I don't think that's going to be a true prediction of how Magic Squad are going to play, but the Maru's in play, and that's either going to be something like go in from his window or take T3 very, very quickly. It's either one of those 2 options.
I think the more likely one's going to be tier 3. It's what we see Amaru do. You go in through tier 3, you clear that tower as quick as possible, you get the wall open towards the attic, because as of late, teams like to leave 1 or 2 players in the attic. The attic player has 2 jobs. One, you defend the attic side itself. The other one is you use the mirror window that Lagonis has just put down to defend master bedroom as well. So that's a clear line in the sand that's being drawn by Team Liquid. If you can open up attic, it makes that job a little bit easier. And it looks like Liquid have actually set it up to extend out that far as well. So as we've lost the Amaru, so that we're not going to see that quick move inside of tier 3 weapon, but you've still got the Ash on the board. And if you've got an Ash, you like to get in the building pretty quickly.
Normally it's Hornet on the Ash, but this time they swapped around the roles. Rare and Hornet now have swapped a little bit. Hornet's going to be on that Yana, brings those nades. Gomez brings out once again that Nook. I'm curious to see how this is going to work, and with the amount of nades they have available to them, they've got 4 sets of grenades, so who of course split between 2 operators. Or are they going to try and use those nades down below an area like kitchen or bottom right? Those are very predictable areas that you can use to, without great information, be able to find out where people are and catch them.
So Rare has got himself inside of the tower now. Hornet's holding the white push, as you know, this is a cross that we see get held quite a bit from sides as you wait for a defender to try to rotate back to site or rotate back into sight. Or back out of sight, sorry, to maybe get a flank going. And you wait there for maybe another 20, 30 seconds. Volps is the player that would be the one that's most likely to get caught out by that one. But he's clearly got a job. He is holding freezer stairs to make sure that nobody pushes up through basement as the Gone 6 rings out in the distance. But we're about the halfway point in the round now, and nothing major has really happened as of yet.
The thing I'm looking at right now from Liquid is this is exactly how I predict they're going to play. They're not going to overextend. They're not trying to give away free picks, but Volp's going to be able to find one. Hornet looks at opening, but he gets slapped back down. They're aware he's inside security now. Hatch isn't watching. Gomez to swing around, gets one, and he collapsed beautifully and get that control. So security falls, and these are the nades down below that I was mentioning, that they can begin to start raining them up. But without solid information, you're relying on catching people in that default position. Now, no one's going to be there from Liquid, so a good levels trade-off, 4 versus 4, and look at the time, just a minute left to work with, and Magic Squad don't have a lot of real estate to realistically work with at this stage.
Yeah, so now Vert's being created to see if they can catch any defenders inside of that corner position for maybe a master window take a little bit later inside the round. But it looks like Liquid are ready for that one as well. They've got everybody holding that angle. Lagonis just waiting on white stairs. The beeper going off will feed a little bit more information to Liquid again. But this plays into their hands. Yes, the sides are level with manpower 4 each. But Liquid know exactly where this push is coming from.
30 seconds, and Magic Squad don't have a lot of options to work with at this stage, so they'll just go one by one. Liquid will lock this down and hold their crosses. A flashbang goes out. The Nook sends it deep, but Lagonis will catch it. TCSG will rip through Hates. And once again, on the 4 versus 2, Magic Squad have got no real options but to go with the direct avenue. They've got themselves set up in a position where they can't exactly trade. A drop to white says happens, but Lagonis is C4, soars and sinks to find one more, and Paulu gets in on the action for a quick second. And Liquid completely lock them out yet again. Liquid are going to make this a tough day in the office. Magic Squad have struggled all stage long on that offensive side, and things might not change, especially considering that we're on a map like Oregon.
Exactly, and it is against Liquid, a very experienced side, and they added in Volps. And this is what I'm going to ask you the question, because we didn't actually get a chance to talk about it that much.
I'm fearful every time I think about asking me a question. What are you cooking?
How much of a coup do you think it was for Liquid to actually steal Volps away from W7M?
Oh. You know what? I think it probably caused a little bit of shockwaves across all the Brazilian players. I think, oh, Volps went to Liquid? I mean, huge organization, huge history. Why not take that move? Perfect time to do it. I have to say, though, Volps has joined this team, and as you mentioned on the desk, has reinvigorated them. Liquid of SI looked deflated. They looked a little bit sad. And this has been an energized version of the team that's arrived, you know. They're not so heavy and reliant on Nesk and Paulu being that tip of the spear. We've seen Volps trying to find that. And that's, I think, put a little bit of more kind of a relaxed vibe back in this team. They're not fighting so difficult for it. They're not struggling as much. I really do like how they've seen, and I've got it in my notes here, actually. Funny enough, I've written one line about Volps for this game, and it simply is, he is that guy. So, I've enjoyed him so far.
He is. So would you say it's no longer a spear weapon, more trident?
Yeah, I think a trident would be a perfect way to describe the front line of a side like Liquid.
So we'll move into the next round. I think hits. Yeah, there we go. I was expecting that to happen. We knew that one was coming once the player was sat for that long at the start of the round, so we'll get a rehost going for that. But Whip It, it's probably a good timed rehost, though, for the side of Magic Squad, because Liquid dominated both those rounds. And it's not a case where they tried to do the same thing twice either. The first round, they attempted to rush down main stairs. Didn't work out. The second round, they tried the more slow, methodical approach. And again, it didn't work out. So they've kept Liquid on their toes, but they've seemed unflappable so far.
I think right, the intention behind that initial rush was to maybe try and set the tempo for the game. If that worked, it could have been a very different story. Unfortunately, it fell completely flat. Liquid weren't ready for it, but they reacted to it. All of a sudden, when the opening pick arrives, they were able to get that trade, and then they reacted, all right, there's been a rush, and we know what to do with this situation. That second round, where it slowed down a little bit, the problem was, for Magic Squad, Liquid didn't give them anything. There was one player down below in security, and Vobs wanted to get himself a 1-for-1. At that point, Liquid are going to hold angles, they're not going to be in dangerous positions, the uplaners didn't land because there's no information on those players. You're then left trying to walk up white stairs, vault in big window, and we saw how that went. It was an absolute massacre. They need to find a way to get that opening pick. Hornet's been so good at it so far, but that's when teams have given them the opportunity to do so. They're going to need to work really hard for their openings on a map like Oregon.
But even look at their first pick on that one. It was getting Volps outside of security. And you've got 3 resources as an attack inside, really. You've got your utility, you've got your man count, and you've got the time. They used so much of their manpower and their time to clear Volps from security. He sat there for 2 minutes. They used the buck. They had players holding the cross. Liquid would... If Volps dies every single round, but it takes Magic Squad 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes to clear him every single time, that's a trade Liquid would take every single time they're offered it.
I mean, not like you'll take that trade for anyone though. Like you lose anyone, and they were able to drain away a minute, maybe more of control in a key area. That's realistically worth it. The issue to me, and I'm looking at this, is the level of coordination that Magic Squad are gonna need to get that opening pick is really high. And Liquid have banned away a key operator that you can use for those high level of coordination takes of the Ying. You can't flash out a key area and get yourself that freebie, which then opens up a round. You need to rely on drones and very clever utility work. That's going to be difficult when you're against a team as structured and as experienced as Liquid on a map as linear as Oregon.
So we move to the tertiary site. Liquid have decided that they're going to play meeting and kitchen, a site where control of that top floor becomes very important. That hatch that we can see on our screen right now inside of Attic is a spot that both the defenders and the attackers love to use to their benefit, because it essentially means that if you control that hatch, you control all of stage, you control all the way towards the desks, and that's a massive area of that site. Because the one thing about this site for sure, but meeting is one of the larger ones in all of Siege by itself, without even adding in kitchen.
Yeah, there's a lot of area you need to hold on to, and this backstairs area becomes so prevalent. The amount of time you see the final execution happen here, but it all really revolves around if you can clear upstairs, because that's where the primary force of the defensive Liquid will be situated. That's where they'll be holding on. If you can clear that, you're in a great position. Otherwise, you're going to really struggle in this round.
So the round is 45 seconds in already as Lagonis plays inside the kitchen, gets himself vaulted up on top of that desk with Echo, who can have a big impact in the late round. He can also have an impact during the round too, as teams have elected very recently to start using that Echo drone as essentially a Mozzie drone as well. They just go around the map, try to work out where those attackers are coming from, and then enabling your defenders to get picks off of that information. So Dokkaebi has already snuck in towards elbow, and an operator again, but when you look at the lineup that Team Liquid have, Dokkaebi's a great counter. You make that phone call ring, all of the Val cams are gone, and the echoes are gone too for those 5-10 seconds.
It gives you that window, that brief moment for that execution, which so many teams have used since that change was integrated. Up spot that drone, try and clear it out, and he knows he's realistically safe to overextend, but he won't commit too much longer to it. Nice charge goes off in the distance as well. I believe that opens up some pressure towards backstage, but Volp's in a very strong position with the laser gate blocking it in, so he can't get it out realistically. There's no there's no way to clear him easily. You can't push him out, so you can't really take that control into the trophy, which means it's going to be even harder for upstairs. And with a minute left to go, 10 players still alive in the server, but no real estate, no map control upstairs from Magic Squad. And Liquid, once again, they're playing very reserved, very passive, and they're not overextending. The opening pick will go for Hornet. Lagonis is going to be the first to fall, and Liquid don't find a trade. Paulo needs to win this fight, but ultimately falls to Hate. And this is where Magic Squad need to collapse right now. 40 seconds, and they have the advantage. Can they make this site hit stick? Well, resets. He's still upstairs, and kids, he's got the hatch to work with. While his phone might buzz in the pocket, he can make a wonderful rotation. And Nesk alone on stage. Where is Magic Squad going to make this hit arrive?
Well, Volps is rotating down through main stairs as well. Gomez gets that pick onto Nesk, making it a 5v2. And this is very good from Magic Squad. The only thing that might be a problem is the time. 15 seconds to go. Oryx still dominating the hatch. Gets one. It's a 4v2 now. And that's a big one. Volps sneaks his way through as well, but it's a 1v4. Oh no, the timing could be perfect. He can't see the feet, but he will get himself as one. But the case has gone down. No ankles will be moved. No Achilles heel on this Magic Squad post plant. Volps, though, does get another pick. It's a 1 versus 2 now. All you got to do is hold your cross and play off the contact. Do not give Volps 2 1v1s. Ideally, you want to get a player back on vertical control. Drone will give away his position. 24 seconds to go. Want to start to tap that kiss, and Hits is going to peek and get the kill. Much, much better from Magic Squad there, as they were able to make the numbers count.
The big thing for that was the opening pick happened. Liquid didn't trade it. They found a second one. Very, very, very well done by a Magic Squad. The concern to me was it took a long time to get themselves into the bomb site. And it pained me. That was a must-win fight for Paulo. It slips away. He needs to win that to hold on control best he can. It'll be a different round, but lots of key engagements going the way of Magic Squad, and I'm very impressed with how they managed to hold that off. They're a little bit sluggish from going from that huge flurry of kills, that huge amount of map control gain, to getting the execution to stick and get the case down. However, they're able to convert that round and get themselves within, or get themselves their opening round in this, as Liquid go back down to the basement. I will add a caveat. That is the quote-unquote gimme site for the offense. Typically, the tertiary site's going to go to the offensive side. It's the weakest for a reason. Liquid won't be too pressed about that one, as long as they can keep their form as they go back to the basement, the primary for this team.
Yeah, and look at the lineup that they're bringing this time as well. You've got the Monty, who we again said if you're bringing him, you need to get that open and pick. But he can be very useful if you're trying to clear multiple areas. You can take him down through Freezer. Pushing in through that construction side as well is always a pretty good one to have. But it is a utility clear lineup. You've got the Thatcher. You've got yourself the Monty. You've got Flores as well, who can get rid of a shield on elbow if Team Liquid elect to bring it. And then you've got yourself the Buck and Iana as well. And well, not a lot of verticality that you can play on this map with it, but it does enable you to move around that ground floor pretty quickly by opening up lots of rotates for your attackers.
I'm looking at the Monty, and you know my disdain for this operator. I'm so concerned every time I see a team bring him out, as you just... Again, you tie one hand behind your back, you lose one gun, and you need to play very specifically around it. Magic Squad have been pretty slow, and I think that's their style. They're very methodical. They're trying to hold on best they can, but now, there's the problem. Opening pick, guess who finds it? Who else but Volps? And now, you've kind of... the ultimate sin. You've lost the opening fight with a Monty on your side. Now you've got 3 active guns to work with. Very huge. That's a huge opening for Liquid.
It is, and you look at the position of these mirror windows as well. It makes it very difficult to push down through Freezer. It makes it very difficult to push through Laundry. Last time around, they brought themselves the Capital, which was assuming that there would have been a mirror playing inside a closet, but Monty is going to get that hatch open. Rare will drone out Laundry as well, and he'll find out that there is a barricaded door. There is a mirror window looking that direction. And this is the thing. Unless you drone behind the window, you have to assume there's a player there. So even if there's nobody playing inside of closet, you gotta assume there is.
Yeah, unless you have an active drone continuously telling you it's clear, there's always that little goblin in the back of your brain going, am I gonna get swung? Who's there? Oh no. It's always that doubt, that little bit of hesitation that will slow you down. And this is what the push is going to be. So they're going to try and walk a Monty down backstairs and try and get that control of pillar, maybe even highway. They spot one player inside of Shaiko and they needed to try and clear that up, but so am I. So you can't do a whole lot with your nades, and you've only got 2 of them to work with on Hates, who's all the way outside by barrels. He'll try and creep his way in the blue and does so, but guess what? Resets is there with a TCSG and finds him. He'll take control in barrel, meaning that's going to be Gomez will drop, but he's going to be, nope, he's going to get, Reset's going to catch him napping instead. 30 seconds and Monty's alone on that back set of stairs. Ray will find one, a beautiful shot onto Lagonis. But GDN in a very difficult position at this stage. You'd imagine it will be all but over. 20 seconds. He might have the fuser in hand. No matter how many times you ask Pengu for the tips, it just won't land.
I do think that the Siege School isn't designed for being a Monty, though. You know, for being real. 20 seconds left.
Oh,
fuser
no.
in hand.
Don't chase him. Don't feed him. Don't feed the Monty. Perfect, Paulu. Perfect from Paulu.
Yeah. Use utility. Don't threaten giving up your life on this one and giving Monty a chance. But yeah, it's, again, Monty without the case down as your last player alive, no real chance whatsoever. Another thing, no smoke. No problem. Resets playing on the elbow instead with the shotgun. The TCSG is able to shut down that Magic Squad attack as well. And you know, you can see what they were trying to do. You spoke about Monty pushing down through pillar. He was going to try to push the Shaiko player closer to construction so that your player pushing through construction could get that free pick onto the Wamai. In theory, it looked really good. But theory doesn't really take into, you know, writing that theory down doesn't really take account for the fact that resets is resets. And he's absolutely cracked on the sticks.
Well, he's on MNK actually, Gibby, not on the sticks.
Yeah, I know, but it's a saying. But it's a saying.
Yeah, but I can't let you be right about anything, can I?
It doesn't have the same ring to it. This kid, he's cracked on the M&K. It doesn't have that same ring.
One thing, kind of, in the inverse of that one, Nesca, since the recount, yet to find the mark. Liquid's still winning, though, so is it that much of an issue? I really think so.
No, again, these players are mature. Nesca and Paolo have been around the scene a long time. If you offer them a 0-7
Volp's gonna get one, by the way. Volps is literally... Oh, no! I cursed it! Go on, Volps. Get it. Oh, no, come on. Come on. Yes. Ah, millimeters off. I love that one from Volps.
He's doing this just to annoy you. It's the only reason he did it. But that's... My point was, they'll take no kills if the team wins. They put the team ahead of themselves.
Okay.
Is that all you gotta say? Just okay. You're gonna do me dirty like that?
Yeah? Okay. No, move on. Give me next point from you. Come on.
Next point. So we're 2 minutes left inside the round. Now Resets is playing up on top of T3. The phone call coming in will reveal his position to any attackers that are nearby, and one of those will be Gomez, who is playing on the buck. But there's two there that you gotta worry with. One on the top of T3. Shotgun blasts. Resets sets him back down to the ground. Hornet now moving to white stairs, but this is looking good for Team Liquid in round 5. They've got the numerical advantage already. There's 1 minute and 45 seconds left to go. Hits is on the move. But they're still trying to clear these players in tier 3, and Rare is going to have to go all the way up that next set of stairs, and you just got the feeling that there's a cross being held there too. So for the Ash, get active, go, make something happen. You got a Glacier after all.
Look how separate Magic Squad are, though. They're not playing together. They're not there for trades. They're playing like 5 individuals, probing, looking for... There's 5 Cryans, basically. They're all trying to do their own separate thing. Volp's going to peek out main door, get one. He'll find himself traded. That's all well and good. Damage done. 4 versus 3, just over a minute to work with. So get themselves that trade. As I mentioned, their lack of ability to do so. But they're so separate from each other in a lot of these rounds. It's a very scary thing. And Liquid, well, look how close they are. They're almost playing in that buddy system. Hates will probe and look and try to find a way up that white stairs. But Nest is going to swing wide and get him and find that opening. Just going to be GDN now and left him DB. And Hates is going to be the last one standing. He'll try his best, but again, you're going to walk into a Nightmare's crossfire. How many angles or how many players will watch you directly? The flashbang will only telegraph where you're coming from, and I think it's only a matter of seconds until Liquid should be able to lock out this round.
Yeah, so Capcan traps and moves, so he does give himself a fighting chance to at least use the barrel of his gun in this 1 versus 4 scenario. GDN is too far away now. The time is not long enough for Hates to get out there and get that res. You got to try and make something happen. A peek towards the bomb chassis, nothing to be found this time around. So I think with 19 seconds left, you're just trying to get your freebies. Where can I find my ones? Still doubting himself, stepping in. Palu does get that one confirmed onto GDN. Hits makes it a 1v3. But that's that. That's another round win for Team Liquid. They're guaranteed at the very least a 4-2 split on Oregon, which is pretty much what you want on defense. But let's be real, but the way they're playing, there's every chance they could go into this one 5-1.
Yeah, the Liquid are in a very dominant position, right? So, stylistically, this is a very difficult day in the office Magic Squad, right? They're a team that's been struggling in the offense all stage one. Liquid, one of the best teams in their group on that defensive stat line. What map we went to? Oregon. Historically, one of the most defender-favored maps that we've ever seen. And the way Liquid's playing only compile that issue. You have to work so hard to get their opening pick, and by the time you've done that, you've got less than half the round, and you could have lost 2 or 3 bodies to get that initial map control. Very, very difficult one for Magic Squad. Liquid are managing this game perfectly. This is the type of performance I think you'd come in, you'd look at this on paper, and you'd expect so far. And different tertiary site brought out this time. We're going to go dining and kitchen instead of meeting room. A different story, and I'd imagine you'll see a lot of kind of high activity, maybe out towards small tower. Maybe it'll be a take from that meeting. I expect a lot of pressure to be directed just by drone placement towards that small tower.
Yeah, that mirror, by the way, is not going to be played with a player right on top of it, because if they get control of white window, you're going to easily get that pick. That's more so for the players inside dining to see through towards that shower's door. So, as you said, a lot of activity will come from that small tower side, with the site being different than kitchen meeting as well. It means that the most important vertical control in this map is around that bunks part of the map. And you can see a straight line. So basically, Liquid have drawn a line across the sand towards showers, and they're saying this is where we're going to hold most of our defense.
Yeah. It's a very pretty much strictly divided up front line. That's what Liquid will try and hold. No one's playing in the sites directly, but they're just kind of waiting for pressure to arrive. The big thing that kind of perks my interest is hates on that glass, right? How's that ability to throw out the smokes, have all of that thermal vision that scope gives you, and be able to have that massive control, that massive pressure. You'll hear that DMR go off a couple of times and Liquid won't want to peak. But the problem is, will they get to use that? Will they be able to utilize that efficiently? Because there's a lot of utility to try and deny that. 3 C4s available for the side of Liquid. They can choke that one out pretty easily.
Minute and 42 seconds, you've still got the thermite, but you do need to get that wall open, which is exactly what they're going to do now. So now you can start smoking it out and using glass to the best of the ability, and GDN's going to step in and go left and go to get the case down. Palu is going to get taken down from that window and wipe, but reset C4 is completely going to ruin the plan for Magic Squad, as now you lose the case in the middle of sight. Liquid now with 4 bodies against 4 bodies. Rare Hates and Gomez off on that side need to make something happen. Well, but that's the thing. I said that mirror, you can't play on it because you're going to get taken down. They got a player on white window, and the player was taken down. Simple as.
Simple as. Enough said realistically in that situation. Gimme. Right now, the Dokumi calls go out. They're trying to put as much pressure on as they can. Now, the initial idea of this push was to dump your smokes and force the plant. Now, looking towards glass, look at the top of your screen. There's no smokes left. They brought 4. They've got none available. Thermite's dead. You lost 2 on the side of glass. Now, your entire execution, the entire philosophy of the round that you're going into, gone. You need to adapt on the fly, and you've got 30 seconds to do it. So it's going to be down to if you can win your ones, and if you have Nest to deal with, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. Gomez falls, and while you might have players upstairs, this round might just wind out to the timer. 20 seconds to work. Cases in small tower. They'll likely know. They'll have a yokai drone to relay information. And Magic Squad can't trade each other, so it's just going to be separate ones. Rare's going to try and stick this. Lagonis gets his team at a Hornet. Rail gets 1, but it's only going to be a consolation at this stage. As the Liquid... Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. Volp shuts it down.
That's the round 1 as Volps is able to pick that one up with the shotgun. Whip it. It looks like Magic Squad on attack forgot their ones. 5-1-1 for Team Liquid.
You've been sitting on that one for how long?
20 seconds. I thought of it 20 seconds ago. I was like, I gotta get it in.
People at home have no idea. Right, when we get to the last game of the day, FaZe NIP, Gibby's got a line that he wants to say, and he's gonna say it a lot. And I already know it, and I've enraged myself thinking about it, Gibby.
I deny those allegations vehemently. That is.
What does that word even mean? What was that word?
It's just a fancy way of saying a lot, like with a lot of passion, a lot of gusto.
I didn't know you had that level of grammar in your lexicon.
The last time we casted, you were speaking about aquifers, Whippet. You can say nothing.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean?
You have to say something, actually. You are working, and this is your job, so I suppose you do have to speak. I'll give you that.
I don't even know what you're saying. What are you rambling about, old man?
Oh, we move into round 7. We'll put 5-1 lead for Team Liquid. If they can win this next round on attack, puts them on the match point nice and early. You've always been a big proponent of saying round 7 is the most important round in any competitive map.
Oh, yes, you remember my catchphrase, Gibby. Thank you for that one. But yes, it is one of the most important rounds because it's that swap, right? It's the attack and defense in this game are two different games, essentially. If you can carry momentum from defense to offense, you're going to be in complete control. You're going to be laughing all the way to the bank, and Liquid are going to try and do that best they can here. Basement, this is seen as the defensive gimme. It's a very difficult one to break down. It requires a lot of heavy coordination and a decent amount of map control. You see a lot of teams sometimes going for that west side clear, but Liquid are very adamant. They're just doing a very simple push and putting pressure on towards Big Tower as well as meeting, and that could work out very well for them. That more direct approach could be huge as, well, the Maverick tries to get that initial entryway. Hornet escapes just in time. Stays alive.
So Maverick will work on getting that hatch open. A big part of this plan, of course, will get those hatches open, and then it opens up the ability to go for that drop. Monty brought a game that you pointed out a little bit earlier, and let's see if Liquid... Yeah, if Liquid are going to be able to use just a little bit different, I suppose. The big difference here is that Magic Squad don't have a mirror, so Monty can push down these areas a little bit more safely, a little bit more secure. Big problem, though. 3 C4s in the back pocket of Magic Squad, so Monty doesn't want to get too close to the splash zone of those.
Again, the shield does at least some favors of stopping that damage, but not enough. And Monty's alone here for Liquid. Again, he'll get control. The Monty will be able to walk in. Legonis' job right now is to put pressure via that area and make, turn guns towards it, give them that active threat to worry about. But he's alone. No one's going to be able to trade him if that pressure arrives. But Nesk doesn't even matter. He'll get the opening pick onto Rare, who's playing by Chola. And now the entirety of this pressure is going to arrive from Laundry Stairs. You still hold the back. You still got to hold Blue. That C4 gets tossed deep and wonderfully lands at the feet of Paulu. But Nesk finds a second. Resets, get traded. A Magic Squad come alive. It's Legonis all alone. And he lowers his shield. His defense falls. And so does his life. Magic Squad getting themselves a second round in defense.
Really impressive trade game, though. They set themselves up to play off each other's shoulders and pick up those trades, and that's something they didn't do enough of on attack. And I'm impressed from Magic Squad. It's a nice change for them to see them play a little bit closer together, see them have a set plan on defense, and now we move to the next round. And from their position, it was a 5-1 split for Team Liquid, so you gotta win another round, then you gotta win another. You just gotta keep whittling down that lead that Team Liquid have.
Are you saying in order to win the game of Siege, you need to win rounds of Siege?
Yes, that is exactly what I'm saying.
There's a reason why we're not on the desk.
Actually, that's a valid point, though. It's true.
Who doesn't love wonderful insight of, well, if Liquid want to win, they've got to get 2 more rounds?
I back it. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. CDAPS, I want to hear you drop that one on broadcast at some point. I'm waiting for it. So let's have a look at the stats snippet to remind everybody at home. Liquid already confirmed in the top 3. Win here would give, the regulation one would give them an 84% chance of finishing on top spot. For Magic Squad, however, the numbers start to look a little bit bad if they get a regulation loss, because it's no longer in their own hands on making that top 3.
Yeah, they want to get themselves at least overtime, and there's a problem when you lose your life to Vulps like that. The opening pick goes to Liquid, and because I think he just got caught rotating via shower hallway, there's no trade. There's a problem. Already, just like that, you've lost not only one player, but one of the most influential. You've lost your Solace. So, no ability to go down below and deny a plant in the last dying embers. No ability to read the flow where these drones are arriving. Back to an old school style of play for the rest of the side of La Magic Squad.
Would you argue about that he hates when that happens?
Oh, boo! Boo! No! No!
Come on, that's a rare Gibson win.
I thought we'd get at least 2 maps with no puns, no Gibby jokes, but he's hit me with
coming at you like a bunch of hornets, mate. That's where the puns come at you like.
Get out. Get out. Let me out.
I think I've just lost my job. I think I've lost my job. It's been a fun run so far as Rare looks through and plays aggressively on the breach. I do like it whenever you get aggressive. Somehow he manages to avoid getting his head taken away, and he gets a pick. But Gomez is going to pick one up on the resets as well. So 3v3. Gomez is DBNO though. Vulp's on the window. Makes that lion scan to freeze those defenders in place to calm down the round just a little bit more. Lagonis gets one. Nest gets another. 3v1. Hornet is getting taken down as Vulps cleans that one up, and that attack just happened in the blink of an eye. They got players close to the breach, they got a player on the windows, and they went straight through, and Magic Squad have seen enough, and they're going to take a timeout.
It's a late one. It's a late timeout for Magic Squad. I think you could have used this a little bit sooner in this matchup. It's been a rough one for them, but it gives them that ability to reset, and they can now begin to figure out how to amend it now. I'm not the optimist you are, Gibby, so I can't sugarcoat this one in any way, shape, or form. The likelihood is Liquid are going to be able to win this round out, win this game within regulation. For Magic Squad, minimize the damage. Try your best to hold on and get that round difference as low as you can and go out swinging. Liquid, great control so far. The map has benefited them absolutely perfectly. For Magic Squad, you can't concede the opening pick. They need to play better for trades. They need to be a little bit more reactive and read into what Liquid's doing and not let them be able to poke and probe and find whatever pressure they want. And those are all difficult things to amend on a map like Oregon, especially so light. So let's see how this goes.
And it is a map that, as I said, all the players of the server know like the back of their hands. Team Liquid just need one more round in a row for that regulation win. Magic Squad need to put 4 back-to-back. But we have this thing where we work, when we work LAN events or we work in studio, games go to overtime for fun. Why is it when we go remote, whenever we work from home, games seem to end a lot quicker?
I don't know what it is. I think it's because obviously when you're in the studio, you know, you're being baked under the lights all the time. It's just to torture us, I think, best as possible. Funny enough.
But you love it.
Oh, you do. Funny enough, do you remember not so long, well, actually, no, it is very long ago at this point, but we actually got the wonderful treat of casting Liquid on LAN. Isn't that a wonderful one?
We did, and guess what?
What?
They were involved in the 5-1 swings where we saw 2 5-1 halves back to back.
It's true. Nothing will ever. We're off on a bit of a tangent here. I apologize, but one of the things that's always burnt in my mind, and one of the reasons I'll always be a Liquid fan, is I got to watch them come back from 4-1, 5-1 down against SSG on Border. What a glorious day that was.
But at this point now, though, they're the ones that took the 5-1 half, and they're the ones that took the lead against Magic Squad. And all they need to do is win this last round. For Magic Squad, you got to have an impact on this round. You got to get that opening pick. It's something that they've not done very effectively whatsoever in this game so far. And you look at the lines, you were pointing out earlier that, was it Palu was not having the biggest impact in the game?
It was Nesk.
It was Nesk. Look at him now, 6-4.
Yeah, Nesk has found his wings in this game.
He's done what you've been telling me to do for years. He woke up.
Oh, yeah, but at least he can hit his shots. And Lagonis has taken an absolute beating so far in this round. He's not going to be too healthy after that one. A single impact will be enough to lower his shield and get rid of the Monty. But a very direct push once again by Liquid. There's not really a lot to do with this. An aggressive cross, but Hornet, he's managed to get an absolute heist. He's crossed all the way across no man's land. He'll trade most of his HP for it. He manages to get there. He'll count his lucky stars for that one. But Liquid, direct, going fast and just trying to find a way in. But Magic Squad could be able to hold on.
Yes, so now Gomez will sit in position. There is a cap can, so remember, he can have an impact in this game as players step over those tripwires. But he's got himself in a little bit of a corner. He's worried that someone could push on the side. Vulps is going to get caught by Rare inside of bedroom. Gomez is going to get one onto Palu as well. And there's another top double coming in, and there's the end of the round. And it is flawless from Magic Squad. Whip it. Match point Monty. Didn't work again.
Don't So, Match Point Monty is one of the scariest things I have ever seen. And we'll come back to us for a brief moment. Sorry for the jump scare. I'm going to warn you best I can for that. But a Match Point Monty is one of the scariest things I've ever seen. Because during our stint inside of European Challenger League, we saw basically every team that brought out a Match Point Monty, they would lose that advantage or any advantage they had very quickly. You're able to get map control, but I have such a distaste, a displeasure of watching a Monty in play. I really want to see Liquid try something new, and so far at least they're opting for that.
Yeah, so we're going to move into round 10 this time around. It's 6-3 Liquid lead. One thing we haven't seen today at all being used whatsoever is Brava, and looking at the lineup that the defense has, probably not going to see it this round either. Not too much utility that you'd really want to get stealing away. But as they look now to attack...
Not a map that you'd use it either. I mean, alright. Brava,
well,
on paper...
Malusi's.
On paper, Brava's brilliant, right? Because you can hack Capcans, Malusi's, you name it, it's yours. You're going to use it for default cameras. That's what a lot of teams are going to use it for. Think about it frees up your use of drones. And that's the primary thing. Maybe you have a Malusi's used on an extended position. But on Oregon, you're not going to get the necessary value out of it that you might get on other larger, more open style of maps, which is probably why we've not seen it today a lot.
No, we might get to see it a little bit later. I really want to see Brava being used at the right time to have an impact. Right, there's a drone lost from Palu, one of his regular ones, still not electing to use those Roteros just yet. Hornet getting himself ready. He's cooking something here with it. He's getting ready to go out the window once he hears the right bit of noise. But unfortunately for him, there's nobody in the same time zone.
No one's even close. I don't know. I really appreciate the idea, right? He's...
Now there is.
Oh, build a bit of tension. He's going to go out. Out he goes. Oh, no. No. He didn't get the one. And this is the problem. He's completely revealed and double peaked. The Volps will find two. A calamity. An absolute catastrophe outside of Big Tower. Magic Squad lose two just like that. And Liquid look to be on the warpath. Oregon begins to slip away.
Oh, that's not what you need to happen. You gotta win that, because literally, even if you won that, there was another player there for the trade. Gomez pulls one back to make it a 4 versus 3. Rare is playing below, but you look up at the top. You need someone with a C4 playing a little bit closer to the spot as they look to get some work. Nesk being held as well on the bottom of main stairs. Still waiting on Maverick to finish opening up this hatch as we're going to get that one open and the impact comes through, but nobody is found. Gunfight comes out. Volps is going to get one on the other side of the map. Gomez, 1 HP in a dream. GDN playing inside Freezer, but the rest of the push has been opened and enabled by Liquid. Gomez does manage to get one, making it a 3 versus 2. Lagonis ends his misery though as he goes down, and it's all down to GDN. And the stats for GDN this year, not looking the best. Can he turn that one around? Case going down. 2 seconds to go. Volps gets the kill, and Liquid win that one. Whip it, no surprises whatsoever in the result again. But still, 7-3, Liquid now. They've got the 84% chance of securing top spots with all of today's games yet to be played.
Liquid get themselves those so important 3 points, and they'll be able to put themselves once again in complete control for this group. And a dominant 7-3 victory here in Oregon, from maps to style, everything stacked in their favor. A team revitalized since the addition of Volps. Look to be really energized for